Fat Bald-Sicilian, FBS. I am very grateful for Fat Bald-Sicilian. I'll tell you why. FBS created more channels than Comcast. Okay? FBS endorsed a lot of channels. He created a lot of channels. And I bet he can't count how many channels that he has helped to get monetized. And I'm one of them.
You know, and then it's not like you have no violence on your record until you're 30, and then one night you just decide to go out and kill a cop. It doesn't happen like that.
Fabrizio was always a tough kid. He was a tough kid. He had a nice punch. If you hit him, he would knock you the fuck out.
I already had the position. I don't want to say boss, but that's what I was. I had the position. I was made directly with New York, and I didn't have to answer to nobody in my area.
I didn't watch the show, so I didn't really understand the magnitude or, like, you know, how big this moment was.
But you know what? When De Niro asked him to let the old lady stay, you know, and she has to stay with the dog. Well, God, that's never started, huh? You know that scene? And he was like, "Stop!"
Anytime I got to shoot at John's restaurant on East 12th Street, which was like a big mob hangout where like Joe the Boss Masseria would like hold court, and I got to work with Ivo Nandi, who played Joe the Boss. Those were some of my favorite scenes.
And the moment you walk in, I could recognize who's at the bar, who's in the table, FBI. And this is the first time that I meet Sonny Franzese.
As a matter of fact, outside the Bada Bing, Satin Dolls, we put a curtain in the parking lot. Everyone was wondering, why is that big curtain in the parking lot? We were rehearsing the hanging scene.
I'm living proof, guys. I'm living proof. I mean, no, I'm no millionaire or nothing, but listen, look at my life 4 years ago. I was in a fucking hotel. I was, selling crack. I was snorting coke. I was drinking myself to fucking death. I was literally taking bags full of Ativan just because I wanted to die in my sleep. I was all alone, and now I'm here. I have my family. I have a little bit of money in the bank. I got everything I want. And I got you guys in this channel. So if I can do it, any of you can do it. Yizzo! What's going on, everybody? Here we are. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you guys all had a great holiday yesterday. I did. We had a good time. Before we had a good time, we went to my storage unit and started digging some stuff out. And I found some things. I got to go back there today and get some shit because I didn't have a box yesterday or anything. We were mainly getting rid of trash, but going through this stuff, I found some things I told you guys about before. You know, like the other day I told you about Gano Grills. There's a picture of me and Gano Grills he autographed and stuff. I found that. So I'm going to put that up. What is this, Argo? I mean, I know what it is, but why? Why now? What happened? We'll see. So yeah, that's my plans after this show. Going straight to the storage unit. But we're making progress. We are. We took a few big ass bags of trash out of there. Stuff that like I had like old mail and shit, like stuff I don't even understand why I had. I guess because I was still fucked up using and shit when I got the storage unit. I just threw everything in it. Oh, that's your hello? Gotcha. Oh, Jesse Roth. Is this like I monkey you? Is that what that means? Is it that thing? FBS, start going through memories. It's fun. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I found some cool shit, man. I found so many old pictures and fucking just important stuff with sentimental value. You know what I mean? So I gotta go get the stuff today and then keep working on it. By the way, my whole issue with the fucking lock. Yeah, I went there yesterday. The guy was like, "Oh, it wasn't locked." Basically, what you said, Jesse. I don't know if he's telling the truth or whatever, but he didn't charge me for the new lock, so I was like, "Whatever." Jason Mikesell, what's up, bro? I'm still gonna say happy birthday to Yo Ass, even though it's 2 days later. David Lopez, good morning. Do quick shout outs. Sally, Sven Larson, War, Miss Can't Be Wrong, Dave, Jason Mikesell, Ronan456, Casey Robinson. Wait, did I already shout you out? Oh, I hope not. No, I didn't. Soretti, what's up, bro? Have a good day at work. Let's see. South Philly Tony, what's up, bro? Drunk Josie, enjoy your drink. Argo, D. Gainey. Let's see here. No problem, bro. I usually take a picture before I have the guys cut it. Oh yeah, with the lock and shit. Yeah, it's no big deal. I don't care. Whatever. I was gonna flip out at first, but I called actually yesterday before I went. He explained it to me, and he was like, "We're not charging you for the lock. Just come pick up the key." So, oh well, because maybe I did lock it wrong. I don't know how, but as OCD as I am. Miss Can't Be Wrong is back and better than ever, I'm sure. I have missed Miss Can't Be Wrong, and I'm glad to finally see her here. I want to talk about something I just saw. So this morning when I woke up, I was like, okay, I want to talk about I need a topic, whatever. So I went back to the Andrew Tate interview with Michael Franzese, and I started listening. And there's only a couple of things I heard that are worth mentioning, but it really is like two grown men, overgrown, really, just bitching and moaning and crying about their fucking lives, like how everything's unfair. I heard Andrew Tate say something so fucking stupid. I told you guys, a lot of these dudes. Why do you say that, Jesse? A lot of these dudes, what was I saying now? Fuck me. I don't know. I don't know, but they were bitching and moaning about their lives. That's what they do. You know, they just whine and cry. Meanwhile, they're both millionaires. Andrew Tate is worth like $350 million fucking dollars. And all they have to do is bitch and moan. It's unbelievable. I don't understand. Big man baby victims. They always see themselves as the victims. And Andrew Tate, you know, like I said, he's just like Michael. He's just richer. You know, he's a fucking asshole. I know some people in here are probably fans of Andrew Tate, but why? I don't know. Why would you think that this guy is totally innocent? Other than the fact that you're just biased because you like the dude. You know what I mean? Like innocent of his charges and stuff. I don't know. I don't get it. 350 mil. I'd hate to have it that bad. LOL. Oh my God. Yeah. It's got to be a horrible life. It does. Traveling the world and being super famous, you know, and everybody wanting your attention and stuff. It's got to be rough. Actually, the everybody want your attention part probably is rough. Oh shit, okay. Let me just do something. Oh, because the character Monk was extremely OCD. Yeah. That's how I am. I don't know. I'm nuts. If you asked Shanna yesterday what a pain in the ass I was, she's like, well, let's throw this stuff in a bag and just take it in a bag. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. The pictures will get bent corners and stuff. The papers will get all wrinkled and shit. It's got to be laid flatly in a box. Andrew Tate. Oh, wait. Andrew Tate is an asshole. Yes, I agree. He is. He's just an asshole in general. Everything about him comes off like that. You know, I don't understand why people like him. I do to an extent. It's kind of like the Trump thing. He doesn't give a fuck. He says whatever he wants. He doesn't mind being offensive. He doesn't care about hurting people's feelings, which I generally respect in a person. But when you're just offensive deliberately and just an ass fucking hole just because you can be, I don't know. I don't see the need for it. You know, I think he would fit in well on SlobTube. I do. I'll take the money. Fuck the fame. That's right, sir. Good lyrics. I just want to be one of those billionaires who has a seat on the table in the Illuminati, control world economies from behind the scenes, true power. Yeah, that would be nice, right? That would be nice. Are you, Miss Campy Wrong? Yeah. Andrew Tate is just an asshole, and people like assholes, it seems. They do. They definitely do. You know what I mean? People like to be treated like shit in general. You know, it's just desirable to some people. I don't know why. It's very confusing. Miss Can't Be Wrong. My pictures are in special containers and albums, and all my papers in a file cabinet. My hubby isn't that orderly. LOL, I have to be. I'm the same way. My wife isn't, so I have to be. Shanna is much more laid back. You know, I wish I could be like that. Like just that blasé attitude. Like, whatever happens. You know what I mean? Shanna worries about nothing. I mean, nothing, not a thing. And I worry about every fucking thing. You know, but I'm Italian, originally from New York. I mean, it kind of comes along with it. It's just there's a big part of the population that was born with assholery, and when they see one with a platform, they naturally gravitate there. Yeah, well, Tony Pizza, you know what I mean? MRE, people like that. Yeah. Trump. Tate reminds me of that other one, Milo Yiannopoulos. I think that's how. I don't even know. I don't know. I know who you're talking about. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. He's a jerk off too. He's another one. There's so many of them, especially on that side. No, I wish I could. I wish I could just chill and not worry about nothing. Like, well, que sera, sera. You know what I mean? Whatever will be, will be. But nope. I think I have control issues. Does that surprise you that I have control issues? That I feel the need to be in control of everything all the time? That's one thing I know about myself. A lot of people don't know that about themselves. I do. Jason Meixel, De Niro was just giving a speech ranting about Trump outside his trial at the courthouse with Trump clowns trying to shout him down. LMAO. Yeah, well, he don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? He's on the right side of things. You know what I think that's sick, that makes me fucking sick? Robert De Niro, arguably the best Italian-American actor of all time. A guy who Italians have been watching since the 70s. Okay? They've been entertained by him. He's made unbelievable movies, everything. Even when he got into his ridiculous comedy shit, the movies were funny and stuff. You know? But some of the best movies of all time were Robert De Niro movies. Everybody loved and adored him. He was like a hero to Italian people, right? He goes against Trump, he ain't shit. Everybody hates him now. Well, at least that side hates him. It's like, wow, man, like for this guy, this guy, you just say fuck it. Fuck this guy who I've admired my whole fucking life, this amazing actor who's entertained me endlessly and made great movies and all kinds of other shit. Forget about him. You know what I mean? He doesn't agree with me politically, so now I'm going to bash him until the end of time. Unreal. De Niro, legendary man. Yes, he is. FBS, if you ever watch Monk, I suggest you watch it with Shanna. That guy that plays him, I never really got into, I don't like him. What's his name? Tony something, right? I don't like that guy. I never liked him in anything he's been in. That's one of the reasons I never watched it. What's that dude's name? Chris Capello. Good afternoon, my brother. Good to see you. The beach yesterday, huh? I'm a fried honky. The beach, huh? I hope you're happy with yourself. I wasn't at the beach. Tony Schaub, there you go. I wasn't at the beach. I was in fucking Pennsylvania. Jason, oh shit. Jason Meixel, FBS, technically De Niro is only 25% Italian. Most people don't know that, LOL. His dad was Italian-Irish. His mother was like French, Swiss, German, Irish. It says it on his Wikipedia page, LOL. I don't give a fuck. Let me make that clear. He's Robert fucking De Niro, and he's the man. The man! Always was and always will be. No doubt you equate De Niro with all great Italian-American movies. That's right. It was horrible being on the beach. Why, D-Gainey? How dare you? How dare you say that to people who can't be there? It's fucked up. I had a girlfriend for a few years. I lost my license for the 2 DUIs and shit. And this bitch had the balls to just always complain about having to drive. And I don't mean like drive me places. I mean drive. When she had to drive to work, it was too much for her. If she had to drive to an event or a party or a club or a bar, the bitch hated driving, and all she would do is whine about it. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here, no license, would have given anything to just be able to get in the car and drive. I'm like, that's like complaining to a guy in a wheelchair that you're tired of walking. That's fucked up. Oh yeah, he's the man. Sorry, I found some things out about him and several others that I will never support. That's just me, though. That's cool. You can have your opinion, but me, on the other hand, he's the man. That doesn't change because of his political stance, you know. Standing on business with Eric Foss. It's a hell of a day out today. Rain is gone finally. Did you get any effects of the storms yesterday? Me? There was no storms here. Other people probably, but no. It's odd because you're not that far away, but we didn't get shit. Unless overnight, maybe we got some rain or something. But I don't think so. Oh, well, that's good, War. It's not worth giving up on people because of stupid fucking politics. Especially if the two people you're fighting over is Trump and Biden. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Michael Franzese, as we know, and I've gone over this many times, but today is another day I want to talk about it. Michael Franzese is a fucking asshole of epic proportions. He's a con man. He's a bullshitter. I know I've said this all before, but I don't give a fuck. You know, and he's a fucking baby. He's a crybaby. This cocksucker has made a fucking fortune off of his father's name. His father's name. Let's be honest. Okay? Made a fortune. We don't even know if he's a real Franzese. We don't even know. But he made a fortune off of his father's name and, of course, his history being in the mob. You know what I mean? Made a fortune. Now, considering that from the day he was born, he had a silver spoon in his mouth. I know his dad was away a lot, but I'm sure they did fine. He was able to go to medical fucking school. Can you imagine this shit? Especially back then. He was able to go to medical school. He drops out of medical school to join the mafia. And from there on out, he's making hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, he cooperates a little bit. Gets a very, very, very short jail sentence for what he fucking for what he did, his crimes he committed. I did 8 on the 10. 8 on the 10. Okay. And he gets out and he's still rich, moves to California, whatever the fuck he did. And you know, he's a multi-millionaire to this day. He's on YouTube, he's got his podcast, he became like a minor celebrity, I'd say. He's got all types of different businesses. Again, sitting fucking pretty. I won't say the guy doesn't work hard. He definitely works his ass off. There's no question. He's got a lot of shit going on. But, you know, he's got it made. He always had it made since the day he was fucking born. Okay? And he's just he always has something to bitch about. And Andrew Tate, you know, I don't know that much about Andrew Tate. From what I know, he's a self-made man. He did make himself hundreds of millions of dollars, but still, that's where he's at now. Forget what happened in the past. And he's still a victim. Let me tell you what I heard this motherfucker say. I'll tell you what I heard him say. Because we have heard, you know where we've heard something just like this? We push back. That's where we've heard it before. They're talking about how, because, you know, if you're anybody who's ever been in trouble and been portrayed in a negative light in the media, then the media lies about everything. Everything they say is lies. If it's about somebody they don't like, the media is telling the truth 100%. But if it's about them, automatically the media become, you know, a nationwide group of fucking bullshitters, right? So, not even nationwide, because Andrew Tate, we're talking about Romania and England, wherever the fuck he's from. The media are just liars. That's what We Push Back always says. That's what Angel always says. And I've heard them say before that if, I'm talking about We Push Back now, if it comes from the media, it's bullshit. Which, you know, that's funny because like Angel and her friends are huge fans of Fox News and they believe everything that's said on that network. Okay. But it's just stuff they don't like about John Gotti and stuff. Then it's bullshit. But that's their narrative, right? So yeah, he was a criminal. Now he sells Jesus. Yeah, it's fucking all ass backwards and it doesn't make sense. And I don't think many people, well, a lot of people are buying it. Nobody over here, that's for sure. Guys, don't be afraid to donate today. I'd appreciate it very, very much. So, anyway, they're sitting there talking and they're going back and forth about, you know, being victims, of course. And Andrew Tate said, I shit you not, he said, if if Michael Franzese, because he's trying to make a point about how the media lied about him and stuff, and law enforcement lied about him, okay? He was like, Michael, if tomorrow, with that dumb fucking accent, tomorrow, if I saw a police report and a news report about you going back to the life and becoming, you know, a captain in the of a crime family, whatever he said, he worded it funny, I don't know, but you know, captain in a crime family, basically is what he was trying to say. I wouldn't believe it. I would know it's all bullshit because it's only not even, he didn't even say it's only, he said because it's one side of the story. So it has to be bullshit. This is what I mean about some of these guys being a stupid man's smart guy. Only stupid people listen to them and they're like, wow, he's really intelligent. So if, in other words, if say a guy is a chomo and he does something to a child, and the next day you look at a police report about it, okay, you don't know for a fact he did it, but you look at a police report and then you look at a news report about the guy, you just say, nope, he must be innocent. Because Andrew Tate didn't even say, well, it's not necessarily true if it comes from the media. No, that's not what he said. He said, if it comes from the police and the media, it's automatically bullshit. And I know I can't believe it. What? Come on, guys. This is more of that victimhood bullshit. What do you mean? The media, yes, there's liars in the media. There's phonies. There's frauds. They manipulate things to make it more sensational. All that stuff, okay? But you're telling me that everything that comes from the media is bullshit. Everything. None of it's ever true. Like, I don't know, the fucking weather and things like that. You know what I mean? And I'm being funny, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's take mobsters, for example. Okay. Them and their family members are good examples of people who constantly bitch and moan about something that's been done to them. You know, I hate that, been done to them, like as if they didn't do it to themselves. You know, the family members will bitch. They persecuted this one. They persecuted that one. The mob guy himself will bitch and moan about how he got an unfair shake, all this shit. And probably 99% of the time, everything the media reported and everything that was in the police reports or FBI files, whatever, are 100,000% true. You know what I mean? The people who say it's all lies are the people being accused and their loved ones. You know what I mean? And just fans, maybe. That's like Andrew Tate. I will never forget. Do I know if Andrew Tate is innocent or guilty? No, but I know his behavior, how he acts, how he treats women, how he talks about women. I believe it 100% that he did those things. Okay. But what was my point? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I don't know if he did those things. I don't know. I don't know where I was. I don't know what I was trying to get at. I know where I was. But... Okay, listen to this. Oh, I can't. Shit, I can't see it on there. Oh, did that start? Wait a minute. Hold on. This is a clip of something. I'm very confused.
I'm not a bad person because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Turn me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
So that's Andrew Tate admitting to raping a woman and leaving her voice notes about it. This is a part of the evidence against him. Thank you for sending me that. So there you go. I wish I could remember what the fuck point I was trying to get at, but it all comes back to the same thing. They're guilty of sin, but they're victims because they say they're victims. None of them. You'll never see Andrew Tate is just like the mob guys. You'll never see him take responsibility. You know what I mean? And say, yes, I did this, I did this, I did this. You'll never see that. No, it's always somebody else's fault, or it's always the media portraying you in a negative light, or the police just have it out for you, or the feds because you're Italian. You know what I mean? You're Italian, or you hang out with a group of Italian friends, or whatever the fuck excuses they make up. Like, to say that it's lies because it comes from the police and the media. How do you know? What do you mean it's one side? Of course it's one side, and then there's your side. So what's yours? You know what I mean? Just because we haven't heard yours yet means that what they're saying is complete bullshit. Maybe that's what I was getting at. You know, well, I know I already said it, but, you know, I don't know whether he's innocent or guilty, Andrew Tate, but like I said, I've heard things now. I've heard even more. So when I read in the news or in police reports that Andrew Tate is a rapist or a sex trafficker or whatever, I say, yeah, probably. You take the laws of probability. You know what I mean? The laws of probability. In other words, if a guy is constantly talking about degrading women and how he controls women and he has ultimate power over women, and then you find out he's a rapist, or you hear that in the media, your logical conclusion should be, yeah, he probably is. Yep. You know what I mean? If there's a guy like John Gotti walking the streets and he's on the news all the time, and people all across New York know that he's a mobster, and he's obviously had people killed and all types of other things, then you hear in the news that he got arrested and he's being indicted on all types of shit, RICO and fucking murder, which is part, you know, whatever. Your logical conclusion should be, yeah, he's guilty. He did all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way it should be. But no, the people who are always doing the wrong thing, so they're being portrayed truthfully in the media, those are the ones that want to convince everyone else that the media is always lying. There's a guy who he literally trained a cult of tens of millions of people to believe that everything negative said about him in the media is untrue. It's fake news. He did it successfully. And that's what these guys like to do too. All this time later, Michael Franzese just he can't bring himself to say, look, I was a knucklehead. I should have stayed in medical school. I joined the life. I fucking ruined myself. For years, I had to go to prison, blah, blah, blah. I learned my lesson. Now I look down on that guy that I was, and I'm proud of who I am today. Don't follow in my footsteps when I was a young man. Try to be more like who I am today. No, he'll never do that. He'll never do that. Why? Because that mob image is his bread and butter. It's how he makes a living. So he could say he denounces it or whatever, but he still has the giant picture behind him of all his favorite mob guys that he had painted. Now he sells for $600 to $800. And, he talks about his life still to this day. He glamorizes this guy, these guys, I'm sorry, like his father and other mobsters like Carmine Persico and everyone else, non-fucking stop. You know what I mean? And he knows that the only reason he is who he is as far as his popularity or success or wealth is because of that, because of his past. And nobody would give a fuck about him otherwise if it wasn't for the fact that he used to be a mob guy. So anyway, let me do some reading some comments here. What happened? Okay. Let's see. Michael didn't do 8 years. He was in all soft joints and camps. He said he did 2 years on lockup, but he didn't mention that was for his protection. Oh, he didn't mention that was for his protection? Gotcha. He used to talk about Terminal Island, said he ran into Henry Hill there. Yeah, and Henry Hill said the same in his book, Gangsters and Goodfellas. Yeah, apparently they did run into each other. I want the money those mega church cult leaders make. Oh, like Joel Osteen? Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like, guys, people, and I see it on here, but of course you see it with like Trump, and you see it with people like Joel Osteen and these people. They can brainwash millions of fucking people like it's nothing. They could have you believing that they really believe in everything they say. And I bet you Joel Osteen doesn't even believe in God. How much you want to bet? I bet you none of them do. Because the only thing they care about is the almighty dollar. That's all they give a fuck about. I bet you most of those guys do not even believe in God. I'll put my life on it. But they can brainwash. I mean, the church leaders, maybe I shouldn't say millions. I don't know, but probably. Didn't Joel Osteen used to be on TV doing his televangelist shit or whatever the fuck? People like Creflo Dollar, all these different preachers and stuff that make millions upon millions of dollars by playing on people's weaknesses, by selling them a fantasy. Unreal. It's so easy to brainwash people. It's insane. And you see it on here, with these fucking nobodies. The Angels, the MREs, the Tony Pizza, his crew. You see how he is able to brainwash them. He cons them and scams them over and over and over. And they have to know that no matter how dumb they are, they have to know, okay, this is probably not true, but it doesn't matter because he has got them in a mindset where they better donate to him at all fucking times or something bad is going to happen. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but we've seen situations where people are giving them, or giving him their last dollar. He really has them brainwashed. MRE has his crew brainwashed. Well, I wouldn't say that so much. The thing with MRE is all of his friends are neo-Nazis too, and a lot of his chat and his supporters and followers, they just believe the same things he does. They're just like him. So I don't know if they're brainwashed by him, like as in he's convinced them something else is going on and not what we're accusing him of, or if they don't care because they have the same beliefs he does. I don't know. Yeah, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Not a single donation today. Not one yet. Terminal Island is sweet. It's on the beach. Is it really? Were you there? Supposedly, but they were transferring him, I guess, and he got peeped. The fuck? Yeah, Eric. I mean, federal lockup, low security. I bet it's like a motel. Food ain't too bad. Good commissary, respectful guards. Yeah, places like Fort Dix and shit. And in the low security satellite camps and all that shit. Everybody says that they were like, it's like going to camp. It's like being on a college campus. I don't know if that's true, but I'm sure it isn't that good. Fed prison isn't as bad, right? I don't know. I know if I had the choice to go to the feds or state prison, I would take the feds. And because I know so many fucking people that I have a friend who just got out of the feds, Ray Brook, and he's in a halfway house still or whatever. Or whatever they call them, RRMs. I don't know, man. Everybody I talked to that was in the feds, it just depended on the prison you were in. you know? Michael Hensley, we love you too. I remember low security state lockup in Connecticut was pretty nice compared to the shit I've seen in New York. Oh, you were in there, Jason? The Fed's probably nicer. I mean, prison is prison. Yeah, in a way, you know. I mean, I know what you mean, but if you're in like Fort Dix or something, I'm sure it's a hell of a lot better than being in like USP Atlanta. You know what I mean? Or fucking even Lewisburg or Terry Hutt or some shit like that. Schuylkill FCI even. I was in low, didn't last 2 months. I was thrown out, LOL, sent to a medium. I was too lit for them. Nice, Eric. That's a good way to look at it. Well, I'm spoiled. I would not do good in any prison. Well, don't break any laws and you won't have to worry about it. That's what I say. Yeah, Eric, I'm sure. Depends on where you're at. Oh, really? Feds is more violent? He would know better than any of us. I think USPs are worse than any place else to be in America. You know what I mean? As far as prisons go. Horrible fucking places. Horrible places. The worst of the worst are there. Terrorists, every other kind of fucking animal on earth. So I would assume they're some of the worst places to be. No, a camp doesn't have a fence. A low does. Yeah, you can walk around freely. Crazy, right? Ain't putting convicted murderers in low security prisons. Well, here's a question, Eric. If say a guy murdered somebody in 1982 or some shit like that, and he's still in the feds and he's been perfectly behaved, will they put him in a low? Because I believe they will. What I don't know much about Tate. Wow, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Promise anyone would take the feds over Statesville, Pontiac, or Maynard. I've only heard of Statesville, and yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Like I said, though, it depends on the federal prison, you know. They might not if their other option was, like I said, like Terry Hutt or something. Nothing is worse than Rikers Island as a county jail. Oh, I can only imagine. Fuck that place. Yeah, they're shutting it down. Well, the Khalif Browder thing led to that. I didn't punch her. She headbutted my fist. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. Our state prisons are bad, but for most part, it goes like this. More incidents happen in state prison, but more serious incidents happen in the federal prison. Yeah, gotcha. I wish accountability was a pandemic disease and everyone were to catch it. Oh, bro. I'm telling you, man. I always knew that people were fucking weak and wouldn't take responsibility for their actions or haven't, or, the majority of people in general in society. But coming on here is like, holy fuck. Just when I thought I couldn't lose more faith in humanity. It's like, look at these fucking people. Like, none of them can just say, yes, I did it. I mean, or yeah, I am what you're accusing me of being. Or yes, I was wrong. I apologize. Nothing. No, you can't get these motherfuckers wouldn't apologize to save their fucking lives, no matter how wrong they are. And that's everybody over there on the other side, on the MRE side, slob tube. Okay. Nobody. Nobody's ever at fault for anything. It's always so. Look at MRE. Guys got 8,000 criminal cases. All of them are like, it was just a misunderstanding. Of course I didn't do any time. I mean, Jesus, the guns were legal. Yeah. I mean, and still, all the evidence that he's a neo-Nazi, which is all the evidence, okay? All the evidence we have points to him being a neo-Nazi. No. I'm not. No, I'm not anti-Semitic. Of course, I was holding a sign that says Jews are word kids, but that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? You're talking crazy. It's unreal, man. Seriously, unbelievable. I don't know what to say. Every state has a prison where they hold the worst inmates in the state. Federal penitentiaries hold the worst. Let me read that again. Every state has a prison where they hold the worst inmates in the state. Federal penitentiaries hold the worst criminals in the world. Good point. God, I'm way behind. Overall, the baddest motherfuckers are, of course, in federal prison. Well, not necessarily. You know, sometimes you could commit, 12 murders, and you'll wind up in the fucking state. You know, if your crime isn't federal, no matter how egregious it is, you're not going to go to federal prison. So I wouldn't say for 100% that that's the case. I'm going to need some of you guys to donate and donate fast. Thank you. I know Joel's dad, FBS. He was an honest man, the real deal. Well, maybe his dad was, but he isn't. He's hitting the highway, making money the flyway. I played that song before the show a couple of weeks ago. Mike Franzese was in protective custody with Henry Hill. Probably. I'm going way down here. That would be like me saying I was in the same prison with Sammy. LOL. It wouldn't happen. They're together for a reason. Yeah, true. SL Gordon 3, $9.99 super sticker. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that very, very much. Very much. It's an extremely slow day. No, I was never that lucky to be there. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I heard Osteen kept his church closed when Texas froze a couple of years ago. Oh, yeah. And when they had asked him about allowing some of the people to stay there, some of the people that, were lost their homes and shit, he was not having it. Yeah, he said no, absolutely not. True man of God right there. Miss Camby says all donations are welcome. Never mind the amount. I agree. DUI time in state prison, bro? How many did you have? I mean, here you got to have, I think you got to have at least 3 to go upstate. Unless you caused an accident or something. I was in Allenwood Low. It sucked. I prefer higher security, honestly, but I like action. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Level 2 security, state pen in Connecticut for DUI. It's really not that bad. Like camp for grown ass men. Nice. Nowadays, they feed you better in the state. Well, Eric, that's probably because many of those Fed prisons are fucking privately owned. They're fucking part of the private prison industry now, and everything is for profit. The whole point of the prison is to make a profit, so they cut costs as much as fucking possible, and they don't give a fuck about the inmates. But a lot here looked up to Osteen and Law. Isn't it Osteen? Joel Osteen? A lot of people are saying Osteen. Is it? Let me see. No, it's Osteen. Yeah. A lot here looked up to Osteen and lost respect for him. Well, they should have never had any respect to begin with. He's fucking a con man. Let me get down here. What do you mean? Are you responding to me, Eric Foss, because points wouldn't turn your state sentence into federal. Mark Ryder's in a low. Well, he's been there for fucking ever. I'm not surprised. Or maybe that's what you were talking about. It has nothing to do with being a murder. It has to do with points. Oh, all right. FBS true. I suppose you can reclassify and work your way down even if you killed someone. I suppose the nature of the crime matters too, heinous or not. Fucking one of the Gemini twins actually got out. They both got out, bro. They're both out, aren't they? Yeah, they're both out. I think so. You did time with Weebay, huh? Nice. The Wire. Oh, look at that. Oh, my man, bro. Mike DeBella. Thank you very, very much, bro. Wow, look at that, man. He saved the day. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, man. I talked to Mike a couple of weeks ago on the phone. It had been a while. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. More than you know, man. Thank you so much. That's crazy. They let 2 mass murderers out. Yeah. I mean, they are both out, right? Because I think Center actually got out before Testa. Federal prisons is the biggest moneymaker for politicians. Oh my God, of course. Yeah, man. They it's pretty simple how it works. These private prison corporations like Corrections Corporation of America and the Geo Group, they buy these prisons. They have a contract with the federal government that they're going to that the federal government will keep, a certain amount of beds full at all time. And if they don't, it doesn't matter. The government has to pay for those empty beds anyway. And the private prison industry, the corporations, they line usually Republicans' pockets. Okay, but I'm sure both sides. They line their pockets. They give them huge campaign contributions and all types of other shit, so that those politicians will then make stiffer laws that make it easier to lock people up and give them longer sentences. You know what I mean? So then they know they're going to be able to keep those beds filled and keep raking in money from the federal government. But it's fucked up because, like I said, when a prison is for profit, which honestly I think most prisons are, but especially if a corporation owns it, there's a board of directors and everything else. I mean, that prison has to be bringing in a certain amount of money. So they have every reason in the world to cut costs and mistreat the inmates and starve them basically and every fucking thing else. It's fucked up. I did time with Beanie Siegel. He's a real one. I'm sure, bro. A friend of mine knows Beanie. That's what I've heard. Anthony is in Brooklyn. Testa is in Las Vegas. There you go. Thank you, Jeff Canarsie. Good to see you, my friend. Yep. Nick Romano show. What's up, Mob Talk? I was enjoying your couple of minutes. Oh, fuck. I forgot to watch the thing. I got to watch one of your shows. My bad, bro. Yesterday I was all tied up, I guess you could say. The more I watch police body cam video, the more I think we have a mostly adult population of toddlers. Oh, yeah. Those. It's true, especially when you watch shit like that. The people you see on those videos, oh my God. Everybody's ready to commit crime, but nobody's ready to go to fucking jail. It's unbelievable. I told you guys, when I started selling drugs when I was 15, 16 years old, I knew that I now made the choice to go to jail one day, and I'll be going at some point. And a lot of the people who rat and shit are the people who they never see that as an outcome. They just think they're going to get away with it forever. When they get caught, they are fucking shocked, and they're not ready to go to jail. Don't forget, Junior was looking to purchase a private prison. Was it a private prison, or didn't he want to build? Didn't he want to build the Brooklyn House of Detention or Bronx House of Detention or something? Oh yeah, I guess that would be, but not a federal, like a county type of deal, wasn't he? People are fucking stupid, especially when they get crazy with cops and they think they're going to prevail. Oh, yeah. It never works out in their favor. Guys, I saw a video maybe a month or two ago. It was this black dude, right? This is some of the craziest shit I ever saw, because with cops, I swear to God, it's one extreme to the next. They're either too brutal or they're too fucking lenient, but oh my God, my man, Mike DeBella, another $49.99. Oh my God, thank you, Mike. You just made this show fucking worth it. Thank you so much, my man. That's fucking awesome. I appreciate you, bro. That's great. That just made my day. See? Now I'm a happy guy. So, this black guy, I think they're down south somewhere. They might be in Florida. I don't know. Not in a nice area, but it's still country, but it's like a shitty, you could tell, low income type of area. This black guy pulls up to his house in his truck, and there's a couple of cops behind him. And, they pulled him over, I think, for some sort of traffic violation. I swear to God, I wish I could find this video right away. I would show it to you guys. They pulled him over for some sort of traffic violation, right? And before they even get out of their cars, he's in the back of his truck digging into like a bag or something. You know what I mean? Like, which, usually would get him shot directly between the eyes in a matter of 0.1 second. Okay? But this cop was like, hey, do me a favor if you don't mind. Would you get your hands out of the bag? I just want to be careful. We got to be safe. Very, very nice. This is a guy who probably saw too many fucking cops, get indicted or some shit. Not like that happens often. And he's terrified that he's going to fucking say the wrong thing to a black dude. So, he's like, you don't have any weapons in there, do you? And the black guy, while he's still in the back of his truck, is like, yeah, I got a gun right here in the back, and I got one in my pocket. And the cop, and now you can tell this guy is a straight thug. You know what I mean? He's not like some hardworking guy who is just on his way home from work, something like that. You know what I mean? The guy's up to no good. And he tells the cop he has the two guns, and the cop is like, okay, well, if you don't mind, could you just back away from the truck and just have a conversation with me? And they're talking and all this shit. And he's telling the cop about how he has a gun in his pocket that he just bought from a dude named, and I shit you not, I can't remember the exact name, but it was something like, it was some ghetto ass nickname. I forget, but like is the kind of name that if you said to a cop, I just bought a gun off of, so-and-so, they would say, okay, get down on the ground immediately. You know what I mean? Put your hands behind your back. You're going to fucking jail because this gun is definitely stolen, or at least sold to you illegally. The cop was like, oh, okay. You just bought it from like, I don't know what it was. Some stupid name. So, this goes on for like 20 fucking minutes. They're talking about whatever. They're talking about the gun in his pocket. They're talking about him not stopping right away when they put their lights on. All this shit. He didn't cuff the guy. He just got him sitting in a chair. And eventually he says to him, can I see the gun you have in your pocket? And, he lets the guy pull the gun out of his pocket and hand it to him, which is like, it was unbelievable. This is the type of shit where these cops should have got fired for not being tough enough. You know what I mean? Like really risking their lives. So the guy hands him the gun. The cop goes, okay, I'm going to go over to my truck and just check on something. And of course, because he had an SUV, whatever, of course he, is running the serial number on the fucking gun. So while he's doing that, another cop is talking to the guy. Then the first cop comes back over and he's like, he keeps conversating with him. He doesn't say anything about the gun. And eventually he goes, all right, well, why don't you do me a favor and stand up and put your hands behind your back. This black dude heard those words and took off like a fucking bat out of hell. This motherfucker took off. For real, he like he was being chased by a zombie. This motherfucker shot up out of that chair and was gone, right? And of course, all the cops had to chase him and get him down, and he was belligerent from there on out. And it was so funny. He said to the cop, because the cop was like, listen, I'm just letting you know the gun was stolen, and for that reason, I have to arrest you. And the black guy says to the cop, well, I'm just letting you know, if we ever make contact or anything, and we're talking and you tell me I'm under arrest, I'm running. It was funny as shit, but I couldn't believe the fact that the cops were just like, they were just letting this guy do whatever he wants, and they were, put his hands in his pockets, sit in a fucking chair, and just slouch back with his hands in his pockets, chilling, just talking to them. He just told him he has a gun in his pocket. They were letting him dig around, in sorry, I just got a text. In his truck, after he told him he has a gun in the truck, the shit was wild. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And this shit went on for a total of, I think, like 21 minutes, which may not sound like a lot, but that's a lot of time. You know what I mean? To have someone stopped right there, and just be conversating with them. Yeah, crazy. I got flagged, so it's on membership now. All right, well, I'll have to get a membership. Why'd you get flagged? How do people get flagged? Like, I never get, knock on wood, I got one strike, in 3 years. And I've said some of the most offensive, horrible, crazy shit on this channel. I have handed out abuse left and right for years, 2 shows a day for years. And I got one strike, and that was because Lilo Brancato fucked me up with the COVID talk. Must be a big adjustment being in prison 40 years and getting out. The changes. Oh my God. I've talked to guys who got out after 10 years and shit's all different. You know what I mean? Like guys that went to prison before smartphones and came out when there were smartphones, shit like that. I talked to this Italian guy from Philly. He knew Joey and those guys. I checked his paperwork and shit. He was the real deal. He did 10 years upstate. And then they had some contract, York County Prison, with the fucking state that anybody who gets paroled, this didn't last long. They would have to go to York County Prison and do like a minimum security / work release type of situation for, I think it was like 3 months, something like that, before they could, it was kind of like a halfway house situation, but they had to do it in York County Prison. And they would let these guys go out, for 8 hours a day. And, start to get their shit together. They were able to go to stores and buy like toiletries and stuff. Cause it was, like I said, it was minimum / work release, that building. And, they let them look for an apartment for when they get out, or maybe a sober living house or whatever the fuck, look for a job so they can go from minimum security to work release. And, this dude told me one day, he goes, bro, he said, I walked into a Walmart and like, the only way to pay was these like self-checkout things. I never saw no shit like that. He was like, bro, that fucking, I froze. I didn't even know what to do. Like, I didn't know how it works. He was all, you should see the look in his face. He was like shaking up. He's like, everything's fucking different. All right, standing on business sounds good. Let's see here. Everybody wants to be around for all the weddings and none of the funerals. Well said. Jeff didn't do it. Announced a new moderator on his show, Mustache Pete. If Jeff keeps going the way he is, he's going to have to hire referees. The best police videos are the ones where people try to talk their way out of arrest, and when cops give them commands, they don't follow, and they say they're getting, and then say they're getting arrested. Yeah. Yeah, man, Mike is the man. That's great, bro. $100 on a day where I wasn't getting any donations except for SL Gordon 3. But guys, still feel free to donate on top of that. I'd appreciate it. Got to make a living here. Jason, FBS, that's a great insight. With cops, it's one extreme after another. They're too lenient and put themselves in compromising situations, or they're overly aggressive and brutal. Yes, absolutely. Very true. Do they, Peter? Tell me how. Just out of curiosity, Peter Martino. Yeah, no politics, true. But you can tell me how, and I could rebut that, statement, whatever you tell me. You definitely need cops, but you have some that act like they're street guys and cross the line. In a way, they become street guys, a lot of cops. They really do. What's the deal with the music? I'm seeing a lot of copyright stuff in some of my videos. Oh, all you got, yeah, you play. I saw the other day you were playing like the old puffy instrumental, the We Ain't Going Nowhere horse shit. Yeah, anything. You can play 10 seconds of a song, you're getting a copyright claim. You got to be very careful. I mean, nothing will happen to your channel, but it'll fuck up your algorithm and shit. Hate speech. I said Nazi 100 times. Really? Did you get a strike? Oh, yeah, and so many more. Jenkins is his name. You're correct. Who? For what? Copyright claims? I don't know. I play copyrighted music constantly. And I hope it never winds up getting my channel taken down. But I don't know. The Nick Romano Show, $4.99. You do a great job with your channel, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Nick donates almost every show. That means a lot to me, bro. It really does. Not bad. 115. I've made more dollars than I have live viewers right now. And that's all that matters. You coming on, Eric? I know that I was behind in the comments. If you don't want to, it's all good. Probably wrap it up soon anyway, but so yeah, guys, listen, man. This, back to the original point. Michael Franzese and Andrew Tate are fucking babies, and everybody liked them, honestly. Like Andrew Tate, I guarantee you, did the shit he's accused of. I guarantee it. Michael Franzese, we know for a fact what he did, but still, it's just, oh my god, look how they come after us. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's like everybody wants to play the game, but nobody wants to lose. You know what I mean? And as soon as they do, they become the victim. Everybody's out to get them. Here's Eric. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, chat? Now, I just wanted to touch on the federal system now. The money making from the politicians, it gets so deep. Like everybody, I can sit here, everybody knows about the commissary and them contracts and stuff like that. But it actually gets a lot deeper. What happens is, if you ever notice, especially with all these new federal prisons that have been built in the last 30 years, notice where they're all built at. They're all built, they just blew out the side of a mountain in the middle of nowhere, and they build these prisons. So what the politicians do is they know this, that when you go to federal prison, the closest normally anybody's going to be from home is 3 hours. That's close. You know what I mean? So the majority of your people are going to be farther away. So now what do the politicians do? They know that people are going to have to get visits, things like that. So now what they do is they invest in the surrounding town that has nothing. So now all of a sudden they'll buy the stocks in the Walmarts and the places like that, these certain hotels, things like that, because they know people are going to have to come to see their people. They have to spend the money. I mean, the whole thing is just a racket. And like dealing on the state and federal, the difference, look, prison is bad no matter where you go, what security, anybody can get hurt, everything like that. But the total difference is this, is like people think that like federal prison is like you're playing tennis and stuff like that. No, it's nothing like that. Like when you go to these federal penitentiaries, you have the worst of the worst in the United States of America and also in the world. You know what I mean? So when something happens, like you'll have a lot of incidents in the state, like a lot of stuff you'll see on YouTube and stuff. Those are county jails. Obviously, all county jails suck. But when you're dealing on a prison level, you get these you get these places where you'll have so many incidents in the state, which you'll have more incidents. Maybe somebody getting their head busted with a lock, shit like that. But when it happens in the feds, a serious incident happens in the feds, people die. It just does. You know what I mean? You have more calculated people. You got people with money. The federal system, when I first went in, back in 03, back when I caught my first Fed case, when you would go in the chow hall, they would have salad bars. That the food was great, bunch of ice cream, everything. It was awesome, right? Not you know what I mean, for prison. It was awesome.
Yeah,
but as time went on, trust and believe what I tell you. They have no more than any of that. They feed you like trash. The state actually feeds you better. You can't have TVs in the feds. None of that kind of stuff. The state, they actually Xboxes, TVs, things like that. So when people were saying about doing time and stuff, like me, myself, I would honestly, I would rather do time federal, but that's for my own reasons. And the reasons behind that is I like action. I like to make money. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah. I'm involved in all the gambling, selling drugs, everything like that. So obviously I'd rather be there because there's more money there. You know what I mean? And when I say money, I mean real money. Like I will say like this, comparable to the streets. Okay. There was more money, actual money on hand. There was more money when I was doing my federal prison bid, my first bid. There was more money in federal prison than there is in the streets nowadays.
Yeah. I believe it, bro.
Yeah, it's just the way that the politicians do it, and like if John Gotti Jr. or whatever, he might have, like one time I tried to do this. I tried to get the county, one of these counties in Maryland. I tried to get into getting their contracts for the commissary because it's just a boatload of money. But I wasn't even considered. You know what I mean? I wasn't even considered because it's locked down by politicians. The best coffee. I don't know if you got coffee drinkers in here, but the best coffee I've ever had, and until this day, is in the feds. It's this comes in a yellow bag. It's this Keefe coffee. It's like Juan Valdez, 100% Colombian. I mean, this stuff, man. Like, man, you take a couple scoops of that, it's like an 8-ball. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna lie. You're zinging. Well, this coffee, the whole Keefe is owned by George Bush's wife. You know what I mean? So like you've had so many people, if you're there, you'll see who have invested in this stuff. So that's why like people get it screwed up when every one of these politicians talk about letting people out of prison. Man, listen to what I'm telling you. If it's common sense, if I was invested in prisons, I'd want to keep people in there too.
Oh, of course. Of course, but it's just sick. It's sick that there's for-profit, warehousing of people, basically. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about the people or the people's families. They just care about that profit. You know, it's a shame. And don't get me wrong, people who do things wrong deserve to go to jail. But look at the kinds of sentences we've seen people get because of the way these politicians will stiffen the laws and shit to keep those prisons full. It's insane. The sentencing guidelines and ranges that they put in place are astronomical.
Here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. Like it's modern day slavery, and here's what and I'll give you an example. Like they have this thing called Unicor there. It's like the best jobs that you can get or whatever. They pay these guys whatever, like $5-6 a day, which is supposedly good or whatever, right? Now people think, okay, that's good for a prison job. These aren't prison jobs. Listen, when I was in Gilmer, do you know what they did in Unicor? They made or fixed all the Hummers for the military. The real actual Hummers. So these are $50, $60 an hour jobs. They have people doing for $6 a day. When I was in Big Sandy.
Oh yeah.
When I was in Big Sandy, they made the all the gear and stuff that the army people and military people wear. These are Schuylkill. When I was in Schuylkill, all the government office furniture is built by inmates. So people get it messed up when they're like, oh, all the taxpayers' money's going to they get $37,000 a year per person, right? And now you're supposed to be in single cells, but now they bust down TV rooms and stuff like that. You'll have 6-7 people in one area and they're just cleaning up. So everything that they do, believe me, there's a dollar sign behind everything. Everything. Don't ever be fooled by that. You know what I mean? But it's just like it's just a big hustle. So like people don't understand that, and it's just like these jobs and stuff like that. These are actual real jobs that people will be making $50 an hour, or should be making $50 an hour. But they got these guys doing it for $6 a day, and it just gets crazy. Another thing with the Franzese thing, like I'll get on here and I'll see these dudes. Like the Sammy the Bulls, the Franzises, they're talking about these places and stuff. Look, let me explain something to you. When Franzese says, "Yeah, I was 27 months on solitary, whatever." Bro,
solitary. Yeah.
let me tell you something. I've been on lockup every prison, probably except for Big Sandy. I've been on lockup. I didn't get in trouble with Big Sandy. It's hard to get in trouble there. Anyway,
that's a bad fucking place, though, right? That's a real bad place.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to get in trouble there. You really got to, you know what I mean? You really got to be violent, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, PC and lockup is the same thing. It's just a different status. I might be sitting over here on this side of the tier in a cell on lockup for however many months because I beat somebody up or stabbed somebody or something. And Sammy the Bull might be right across the hall, or not him, but say somebody might be right across the hall that is on protective custody. We're in the same thing, but it's just a different status. So when these guys say that, they're trying to like pump their chest out. If Franzese was in there for 27 months, that was for his protection. And look, he told on himself when he's like, yeah, no, I ran across Henry Hill and stuff like that. What is Henry Hill doing? What are you doing in the same place as Henry Hill? It doesn't happen. They don't make them type of mistakes. You know what I mean? So they know, these guys, they tell so many stories, you know what I mean? Like anybody who they've been around was under the same status as them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you. You're not saying that that Michael's lying. You're saying that Michael wound up in Terminal Island with Henry Hill because he's a rat too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And now Terminal Island, Terminal Island isn't one of these PC. It isn't what's known as like a PC jail or dropout yard or nothing like that. Like normal people can go there, but it's one of these places. It's on the beach, bro. It's on the beach. Women flash and all kind of stuff like that. People don't want to get thrown out of there. People don't want to get thrown out of there. So it's for like it's just a softer place. Like an example, like when I went to Allenwood Low, okay, I've never had real high points. Like when I went to the penitentiary, I didn't get sent to the penitentiary. I worked my way to the penitentiary because I was always in for a nonviolent drug offense. So my points are never high. So I wound up going to Allenwood Low. I was there probably 6 weeks tops or whatever, and they threw me out of the jail or whatever. But at the end of the day, for some people, it's fine. But these places, like you'll sit in there, and that's another thing that gets me. These guys who come on here and they'll scream about the ones who've been in prison stuff. Yeah, I'll do this to these rats and chomos and all this kind of stuff. Man, they're bluffing. They're bluffing. They sat in these low securities for years with them. Listen, I didn't last 2 months. It's right on the internet. You can Google it. It's right when I try to get my compassionate release. Go down to why they didn't release me. It had nothing to do with the streets. It had to do with prison. It had to do with, you know what I mean, assaulting the officer in prison, assaulting an inmate, all that kind of crap. And I'm not bragging about that stuff. That's just stupid. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, these guys tell on themselves because they lie so bad. It's like, okay, so you can't stand all these people and you'll do all this and do all that. How'd you sit with them for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? You didn't bust a grape. You know what I mean? Yep. You didn't bust a grape. Like I said, I didn't last. And look, I'm not even that type of guy. I didn't even last in there. I'll give you an example of what happened to me in there. When I first got there, it was so fucking funny. So I first get there. I'm only got 3.5 years. That's the time I said girl, and they thought it meant coke or whatever. So it was like the weakest drug charge ever. Got caught with nothing, whatever. So I'm older at the time, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in here. And I got sent to the low. I'm like, I'm just going to mind my business. And, I don't get into all the bullshit or whatever. So I go and I sit down at the table to eat lunch. So as I'm sitting down eating, this guy looks at me. He's like, hey, you good? So I figure he's offering me some salad dressing or something. I was like, yeah, I'm good, man. So he looks at me again. He's like, no, I'm talking about your paperwork, this and that. So I looked at this guy. He had a lanyard around his neck that he was in a drug program, which I'm not calling out people in the drug program. But that's known as a snitch program. But everybody in there is snitches. I know good dudes who did it and stuff. But put it this way, I couldn't last in there. Trust me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would never even attempt to do something like that. So I sit there. I look at this dude. I said, what? I said, what the fuck? I said, first and foremost, I said, what the fuck is wrong with you? I said, look what's around your neck. I said, you don't even know who I am. You don't know where I've been. None of this. And so he's sitting there shocked. So at the end of the day, after I gave him the riot act and told him he's soft, you know what I mean? I was like, you're a chump. You know what I mean? I said, now, here's what I hit him with. I said, now, look. I said, I want to ask you a question. What if I sat here and told you, I testified on 100 people. What would you do? He's like, I said, you wouldn't do shit. I said, so what is even the point of even saying something to somebody?
Why
you know
even
what I mean?
ask?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like you get so much of that fake stuff, and then it just boils over to the streets. Like especially these the mob guys and stuff. Like they get on here like the Sammys and all that stuff. The corn-fed guy and all this stuff. Look, corn-fed, yeah, they're killer or whatever, kill people and all this kind of stuff. But listen, for him to be in there, he can't call a shot to where as though he tattoos. What did he tattooed a Odin thing on Sammy the Bull or whatever. And Sammy the Bull's proud of that. That's like so goofy, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know.
And he got permission to do that and stuff. Like, come on.
What do you
man.
think about that?
What do you mean? What like them type of people?
Did he actually get permission, do you think?
Who did he get the permission from? This guy's on PC with him.
Yeah.
How can he give out permission to do anything? And
because he's a rat, right? He's got to be.
Yeah.
So it could,
yeah. Listen, listen. Let me tell you something. Did you see what happened to Whitey Bulger?
Yeah, of course.
How long did that take?
Not long at all. How long was he in there? It wasn't
a few hours.
Yeah. Oh shit! He froze.
Hours. You know,
bro. You froze for a second. Go back a little bit.
Okay,
you said a few. After you said a few hours, it froze.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Now, what do you think would have happened to Sammy the Bull?
Oh yeah.
How long would he have lasted in a real place?
A few minutes.
And look, and here's the thing, like get into the Whitey Bulger thing. Look, the feds are behind that. They knew what was going to happen. That's why these plea deals that came out for Paulie and them, that's why they're so favorable. Trust what I tell you. The reason being is because if that went to trial, there'd be a lot of people in trouble because their lawyers would call out like, who moved him here? Because look, everybody knows, that's why, people will look at like the guys, Freddie, Paulie, and the other guy where they're like, oh, they're so crazy and violent and stuff. Let me explain something to you. That was going to happen no matter who was there. Everybody knows that. Yeah. Anybody who's been involved knows that. If I was there with 3 other guys, it would have happened. If you, anything like that, or else it would have happened to them. Trust what I tell you. So at the end of the day, the feds did that on purpose. That's why they gave them favorable plea deals. Trust what I'm telling you, because it doesn't work like it doesn't work like how these people are saying. No, it just doesn't work like that. And Sammy the Bull wouldn't make it. If Whitey Bulger made it 6 hours, Sammy the Bull would have made it about 3. You know what I mean? Look, nobody, man, come on. But that, and like Franzese or whatever, I don't even think he did no 10 years. He didn't do 8 years on 10. He didn't do that. I think a lot of times, even like if you go to his father, okay, now his father's not a rat or nothing like that. I'm not saying that, but people will say, "Oh, Sonny Franzese did 50 years." No, he didn't. No, he didn't
do 50 years. No, he got sentenced to 50 years.
Well, he did it, and he kept getting out. And what happened is this: I don't think that he's done over 10 years straight. To be honest with you, if you go look it up, because I was looking at it, I was like, he's done altogether. You figure I've probably done about 21 years altogether behind bars. You know, all my whole history or whatever. Now, he's probably done about like 29. You know what I mean? But he's done them on installment plans, 4 years here, 3 years here, stuff like that. So people get like with these numbers and stuff like that. And now the guys, they didn't do all this. And Franzese, man, look, the guy sat there. That's why I said about that old man that interviewed him or whatever, that old man James or whatever. He interviews Michael Franzese and sits here and lets him control the whole narrative. I mean, you don't got Google. You can Google the guy testifying for like 2 hours. Like, is it? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing their rules. Is it okay if you tell on other people that aren't in the mob or other people who aren't as high ranking? I mean, because this is what I'm getting out of this. Because technically he didn't tell because he just told on Fixing Boxing. He told on Norby Walters. He told on these people, some out in Denver, some bosses of some families out there and stuff. So that doesn't count.
Listen, everybody sees Michael as a rat. He's the only one. Well, except for, yeah, some of his followers will defend him and shit. But the people with fucking brains who are honest about it, they know he's a rat. You know what I mean? But, bro, that's what it is here. People could rock with some narrative that they had some justification or excuse or what they did wasn't actually ratting, and they'll get away with it to some extent. You know what I mean?
Look,
it's fucking nuts.
It's real easy. You can have a million excuses. Here's the real deal. They didn't want to do the time. They didn't want to do the time. If they just came out and said that, hey, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But they'll come out with 1,000,001 excuses. No, but I was bringing up the Franzese thing because when they said something about when they interviewed the guy, Nick, the guy who comes on your show or whatever, the guy, Nick Romano or whatever, they sat there, they call him up or whatever. They're talking to him before they interview him like, are you sure you've never told on him? Are you sure? Well, did they do that to Michael Franzese?
Nope.
Yeah, come on, man. And then I made a comment. I'm like, what's the deal with this? And of course, I just got, thank you for your comment or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Some hillbilly's going to tell me how it works, I guess. You know what I mean? It just does. And yeah, I'm not making fun of hillbillies, nothing like that. You know what I mean? I got a lot of friends.
I do. Why not?
But I'm just saying, like, certain people are qualified to speak on certain type of things. You know what I mean? Especially when you have the experiences. Just like with the state and the federal stuff. Look, 286-222, that's my state ID. 409-31037, that's my federal ID. I've been in both. And where I'm from, where I'm from, it's not, our state prisons aren't soft. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Baltimore City Jail got shut down many years ago. It was the most corrupt jail in the United States of America. I mean, look that up. I mean, you had the guy, he had 4 COs pregnant. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So it's not like, it's
for
it's
real?
Not like
By inmates, yeah.
Yeah, listen, and this is what he did. Look, so this guy named Tavon White, he was in the BGF or whatever. So he's having his way. I mean, making a ton of money, doing better in there than he's ever done in life. So the feds come in. So now when the feds come in, this guy cooperates, right? And he snitches. Now he's home now. I don't know where he is because they just don't walk around down here like they do in other places, believe me. And that's not like bragging or nothing, but people really get their shit pushed back down here. Like, look, like I've heard people anyway, about him. So he winds up cooperating and he winds up suing and getting a bunch of money. Do you know what he sued and got a bunch of money for? It's the PREA Act, Prison Rape Elimination Act. He sued because the COs got pregnant by him. So he sued them.
What?
Yes, he got a ton of money.
Oh, because technically they raped him because they're in a position of authority.
Yes. It's just everything is like if people knew just like the levels of corruption and just like things like that. It's just like it'll make you sick. But yeah, he wound up doing all that stuff. Like, and that's another thing. Like people go in here, like the guy Common Sense, he knows his stuff. I'm not even gonna lie about him. He knows stuff. But like I've heard people in here going like, oh well, this guy's case was sealed, so that means he's a rat. No, it doesn't. Listen,
bro, they did it to me.
Listen.
They did it to me. Angel Gotti saw that I had a sealed case. She had somebody checking me out. And for fucking months, she said I was a rat. I went and got the fucking case and showed it to everybody. I unsealed it myself. You know what I mean?
Listen, here's the deal with that. I think it was after 2008, or it might have been before then. And this, I'm speaking for where I'm from, down in Baltimore in the 4th Circuit, federal, we're the 4th Circuit. Okay. Every conspiracy, every federal case, whether a person told or not, they seal it. And here's the reason why. Is because of this. Because people actually get killed behind that shit. Okay. Now think about this. Back before, say it's 5 of us on a case and we all are co-defendants. And all of a sudden, 4 of our cases are sealed, but yours isn't. Obviously, that means the 4 other people told. You understand what I'm saying? So what they do, they just seal every damn thing. Like, look, my last conspiracy, it's everybody's shit is sealed. But if you go on there, you could just click on where I tried to get out on compassionate release. It tells you the whole case. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not sealed. But like if somebody would go, it's just an automatic seal, bro. It's an automatic seal. They have sealed supplements because these things change. What do you think when these guys are going back to court and they're cooperating? You think that they're not telling the feds, like, hey, man, you got to make it look like this or this is going to happen to me. You know what I mean? Because these things actually happen, you know? So, like, people don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I did hear that guy, what's the initial guy, the MRE guy. I heard that guy talk. It was like on something old because I was just like, I got to figure out who this guy is. Man, I heard him talk. He came on. Who was he talking with? It might have been that one scumbag, that Lee Cole dirtbag. He might have been talking to him. So, dude, listen, this guy's voice, like, what was up with his voice? Does he really talk like that? It's like,
oh yeah, oh, I'm MRE, yeah. Oh, you're a rat.
Sounded
Yeah,
like a straight gump. You know, and that's not nothing against gumps out there. You know what I'm saying? But like, he sounded like a straight gump. I was like, damn. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I said, listen, it's crazy. Look, because I went back when I'm, you know, I like to do a little bit of my research myself and be like, well, who are these people? So I seen actually that fat scumbag Lee Cole. There was a guy, I think he might be friends with like the Gottis and all that, but the guy's from Massachusetts. The guy's an MMA fighter or something, right? Now,
Damian Traits, yeah.
Okay, well, the guy's got like, I guess he had 10 fights and he might have been 5-5 or something. This guy Lee Cole had the nerve to tell him, you ain't nothing but a 500 fighter and all this. And I'm thinking in my head, bro, you do not have the balls. If that guy was 0-10, let me explain something. If that guy was 0-10, I have enough respect for the guy to say this. I've been around the fight game my entire life. Been around it my entire life. I will never call none of them guys bums. Never. None of them. To actually be able to have the balls to walk down and get in front of 1,000 people, thousands of people, whatever, on TV, whatever you want to call it, just to get in there and go in the back parking lot. And you know that you're about to fight another guy who can fight and can hurt you, and you still show up and you get in there and you do it. My hat is off to you. My hat is off to you. Bro, I've been in.
Yeah, you got to give him that.
Yeah, and this guy was just like putting him down, like, what are you, you're a failure in life. I'm like, man, this guy, a
guy who's never done anything, bro.
Right. And dude, this guy, what else was he doing? This guy, what is their fascination with women and other people's women? I've noticed a thing. Like, they are so jealous. They said I heard the guy saying about you live with a woman. Dude, he ain't even had a woman. Like, bro, look, they said about they went against Franzese or whatever. They're sitting there putting it out that he cheats on his wife and stuff like that. Leave people's personal fucking lives alone.
Bro, listen, because I went to rehab. I don't know if just a quick thing that happened in my life. I went to rehab in 2019, right? While I was there, I met a nurse, my current wife. I met her 9 months later. We got married, right? Yeah. Dope, isn't it? My wife is a beautiful woman. They're jealous as a motherfucker. Awesome. So they say shit like you live with your wife because this was her house before I moved here. It doesn't matter that I pay the bills and shit. It doesn't fucking matter. I ain't shit because I live with her. It's fucking, who am I supposed to live with?
And you know what? And when they say these things, let me tell you something. Your wife is more solid than he will ever be. And you know, that's a shout out to the women. Look, because I know this just from my lifestyle and stuff. I call them my rescue rangers. You know what I mean? I call women my rescue rangers. And that doesn't mean that I don't have to be in relationships with them or nothing. But I've seen way more stand-up women who have been in my corner, weren't scared, have been there along the way. These women go through a lot, okay? Especially dealing with guys like me, guys like you, who've been involved in certain things, you know what I mean? Whether it's drugs, getting locked up, selling drugs, mob, whatever. These women go through a lot, man. And like they sit here and these goofballs, like this guy hasn't been, bro, listen, that guy's a creep. That guy ain't been laid probably forever. But see, they'll talk about that, but then won't talk about, you know, them squatting in a hotel, you know what I mean? And you know, not paying for the hotel or whatever while they got a chick with them. And they don't do drugs. Bro, listen, I'm a street guy. Look, and I'm not saying this. Look, just from me reading what happened with that guy, that Lee Cole guy, I will say this. The guy didn't kidnap nobody, 100%. He didn't kidnap that woman. Well, let me tell you what happened.
We used to fuck with him about it, but...
Let me tell you what happened. They were sitting up in that hotel getting high. For a month or whatever. Didn't pay the bill. It's time to skip the hell out. You know what I'm saying? And when they skipped out, they caught them at Walmart or something. She's hiding in the bathroom. And the police probably coerced her, oh, he forced you or something. Because that's another thing, too. Nowadays, with like all that Me Too and stuff like that, all these crazy things going on, what will happen, man, and I've seen this happen to guys, they'll be sitting here. They might be getting high with like a prostitute who's been a prostitute forever, and they're selling a little bit of drugs out of the room or whatever. Now, when the police bust it, the first thing they say to the woman is, you know, you're going to get locked up, or you could say this guy was doing, you know, he got you into this. So then next thing you know, the guy's got a trafficking charge and makes it look like that and all. When at the end of the day, it really wasn't all that. So it's like with so much stuff, you actually have to get into the details and stuff. But for that Lee Cole guy, because he comes out, he calls a bunch of people drug addicts. You know what I mean? Like, bro, what were you doing in that hotel for a month with that chick?
Well, Lee Cole at least was addicted to opioids. He said it himself. He admitted it. So when he calls people drug addicts, it's hilarious. That's who you're talking about, right, Lee?
Yeah, the guy, the scumbag dude. Yeah, that guy. Look, one thing about it. Look, I don't sit here and I really don't dislike nobody. Honestly, really, I like get entertained by a lot of stuff. But like that guy you guys almost gave a heart attack to the other day. What's that guy? The truth serum guy.
Oh, the truth serum.
Yeah, like listen, I like him. Like I like looking at like the way he was flipping out and stuff like that. Like he's not a bad. And look, he's not a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? But he's just a liar. You know what I mean? And like he's getting all caught. I mean, I smoke cigarettes myself, but I'm like, God damn, that dude's ready to die. Man, you guys are giving it to him. But like stuff like that, I don't dislike that guy or think he's a scumbag or nothing like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, when I see people going into people's personal lives and especially going after like with their relationships with women, that's none of his damn business, first off. And like, go get a woman and then maybe you'd be more, you know what I mean? Maybe be more entertained. It's these people who just, however he grew up or whatever, you know what I mean? Hey, look, he's just an ugly man. You know what I mean? Just accept the fact. It's true. It's true. Listen, I'm not making these things up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. And he'll sit there and say, well, I'm an old man. Well, so am I. I'm 50. You know what I'm saying? Look, it just comes down like this. He's just an ugly man. You know what I mean? Ugly men do not, look, women don't care if you come out and bash a million guys. Okay? They don't care about that. If you're ugly, they just don't like you. They're just not going to be attracted to you. They'll sit there, laugh with you, stuff like that. And, you know, if he comes,
they'll friend zone you. They'll put you in the friend zone. Yeah.
But... Oh my God, he enters that friend zone. He is the friend zone. You know what I mean? He is. Like he just
is the friend zone.
I mean, the guy just can't. He can't score. You know what I mean? And it's just, and so he'll get into all that and like going into Franzese. Like even with you, like you guys are married. Look, that's not easy. I've never been married. I've been, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I can imagine just from the relationships I had, that shit isn't easy. You know what I mean? So, you know, you don't need people from the outside, some guy that's, you know what I mean, looks like a damn walrus sitting here talking about, you know, what's going on in your relationship. And who cares who's, and look, it's another thing. He's not a street dude and he shouldn't even be able to comment on anything. He's like, well, nothing's in this, your name in this. Listen, bro, when I've had my most money, and look, he always talks about, low life drug, man, low life drug dealers, motherfucker, get out of here. I will take your lower totem pole drug dealer, and I'll challenge this one. Just getting, say 4.5, not even, say 2, going through 2-3 ounces a week, has more money than your average mob associate. Facts.
Oh, no, I did it. Yeah.
Pure facts. So they don't even know what they're talking about. And like when he's like, oh, well, he doesn't have this in his name. He doesn't have that in his name. First off, this is
an old show you're talking about, right? Where he said all this?
Yeah, it's gotta, I don't look
okay, because I'll go. Yeah, I know. Meanwhile, bro, this is a dude who we've proven to be living on government assistance and stuff. You know what I mean? Subsidized housing and stuff. So it's funny when he says shit.
Look, I got no problem with him doing that. But at the end of the day, attacking people's personal lives and attacking people's wives, and then they want to be like he told to the fighter guy. The fighter guy's like, man, when I see you, I'm gonna split your shit. You know what I mean? He's like, you're threatening me. I'm an old man. Man, you jumped out there, bro. You jumped out there.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't care what anybody says. Absolutely. I don't look bad at that guy. If that guy did see him and split his shit, more power to that dude. You know what I mean? Because if he jumped out there with me and I seen him, trust and believe, he could do all the research in the world, whatever he wants to do. But I guarantee you when he does this research, the police will tell him this. When he sees you, he's going to slap the dog shit out of you. You know what I mean? Because that's just how some people are. And like, that's not like, you know, that's nobody putting their chest out. You just can't go disrespecting people. Their lot. He told this man he's never done nothing in his life. How the hell would he know? You know what I mean? How the hell would he know? And first off, getting in a damn ring and fighting takes balls, and he did do something, and he got up to a nice level. Look, I've been in a ton of street fights. My first time ever sparring, man, I got took into school. I'm not gonna lie, I got took into school when I went in there to spar under the real shit. You know what I mean? And you know, so I've done some training and stuff. I got a lot of respect for them guys, and I got a lot of respect for guys like you. Look, you went into whatever, the rehab or whatever. You met your wife, things worked out. That's how life works, man. You know what I mean? But maybe these things are meant to be. But then you get a walrus and then type of people butting in and then talk about, oh, this one with his wife, he uses his wife. This one cheats on his wife. This one does that. Well, let's see your wife, man. Let's see any woman. You know what he is? He's worse than a friend zone. He's what I call a denier. And what a denier is this. It's the type of guy that, like, say a woman did get all screwed up or whatever and did sleep with him, like back in the day or something. If somebody ever brought that up, like, oh, you slept with Lico, they're going to deny it. I don't care if they did. They're going to be like, hell no, I didn't. You know what I mean? That's the last thing you ever want to be. Because, look, I don't care. Look, people might be like with myself, people might be like, oh, you used to mess with him or whatever like that. He's an asshole. He's arrogant. He's this and that. You know, but they're not going to deny it. They're going to be like, yeah, he's an asshole or whatever. But yeah, I used to mess with him or whatever. Like, he's a straight denier. You know what I mean? The woman's going to say, no, I didn't. She don't care. You know what I mean? She's not going to blame it on drugs. She's not going to blame it on money. She's not going to blame it on alcohol. She's just going to deny it. He's a denier. You know what I mean? That's what he is. So that's where they get mad. You know what I mean? And like, and want to call out a normal guy who's doing, like, he should commend something like that. Okay, you went into a, come on, man. Come on. That guy is the one guy that he's just a piece of shit. You know what I mean? 100%. I don't know about the rest of them. Like the one guy I don't know too much about that talks like the Gump or whatever. I was like, what the hell? What the hell is this?
That's the guy we've been talking about. He's a neo-Nazi. Bro, you know about his case, right? Have you heard us talk? You heard us talking about it.
Yeah,
the 5 guns. Yeah, as a felon. I mean, it vanished. And bro, the paperwork said that the state dropped the charges due to federal involvement. But when we checked, there's no federal case to be found. So what's the answer? You know what I mean?
Listen, it's this. They basically do these things. I don't know exactly what they would be called. I guess it's a pre-indictment because you got to remember with the feds, everything starts with a criminal complaint. Okay, it's the criminal complaint, then it goes before the federal grand jury, and you'll get indicted. So what they can do is a lot of times is stop it at the criminal complaint and maybe say to the guy, look, give us the information, work with us or whatever, and then for this case that's related to this, you will never be indicted. You understand what I'm saying? So that will be actually, they never indicted anything like that, but did they tell? Yes, 100% they did. You know, these things don't go away, man. These things don't go away. Trust me. They do not go away, especially when you get the feds. The feds, that's the cream of the crop. That's the cream of the crop. They're not, and look, these people talking about, I've heard them on here, well, this one has some money and stuff. No, they don't. They don't have enough money to fight the feds. No, they don't. Look.
No. Fuck no.
Look,
no, never.
Just the state, just nowadays, especially. Just last year when I had the incident with the, when I got locked up with somebody stole my money and whatever, I seen him at a hotel, whatever. Just that shit, me and my girlfriend got locked up. Just that little bullshit, which the case got thrown out. It was never going to be a heavy case, nothing like that. Just that cost what that cost? $24,000. Just that. You understand what I'm saying? Just that. Now, when you're talking about federal, if you're going to actually fight the feds and be able to win and get things dismissed and stuff like that, let's just start at $300,000. Let's just start there. That's just the beginning. You need private investigators. You need a ton of stuff to fight with them people. And look what it does to people. Like, okay, you remember Ja Rule and them. What Irv Gotti? It was Irv Gotti and his brother. Okay, when the feds put that indictment on them, okay, they knew that they were innocent. That's like when people say they beat the feds. They didn't beat the feds. It's just they were innocent, honestly. Because if you're guilty, you really don't beat them. So at the end of the day, look how bad that put them in the toilet. And they had money. But considering what people would consider money, they had money. But they will admit it themselves. That took them to basically broke. just to fight with the feds. It's not a cheap thing. You know what I mean? It's not a cheap thing. Or else, guess what? Martha Stewart, she went to federal prison. I mean, think about it. You know what I mean? People got big money.
Yeah.
There's billionaires and stuff like that they print the money. So like people get it all twisted on here, and they don't even know. You know what I mean? Like I said, the main thing is like the guys like to come out like that one guy. He just rubs me totally the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that he says about. I've seen he says a lot about people's relationships. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this guy's no good. He cheated on his wife. Well, that means that he nailed 2 more chicks than you ever did in your life. You know what I mean? That's all that
Yeah. True, exactly. Yeah. Bro, there's a video somebody has of his ex-girlfriend talking about, basically telling on him to the police and all types of shit. Yeah. Everybody knows what his story is. You know what I mean? He's a mess of a guy, and he always had a grudge against me because I've been, wildly more successful financially on here than him. You know what I mean? On his best year, I made 5 times what he made. So.
Well, he's the guy who came out with the underwear sniffing guy, right?
Yeah, that was his partner. Yeah.
That's funny as hell. That's just hilarious. You know what I mean? You didn't get down to that storm last night. We had all kind of warnings and everything down here. It's nice out there.
We had a lot of wind and shit, but I don't think, unless it hit overnight, I don't know.
Yeah, we had all kind of warnings and stuff like that. I was just like, it rained pretty hard, so it wasn't that bad. But I figure you guys might have got it up there. But it's nice as hell out today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is here too. The fucking guy showed up to do the lawn. I didn't even know he was coming. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah.
All right, I'm a hop off here, but yeah, that's all I want to say. And like the difference between the feds and the state, man, everything. Look, and these prisons, like people will say, and everybody can also be right, because you might be in a place 1 year and it's like the toughest, baddest place, but then a year later they changed it into a PC yard, stuff like that. So like. The state and the feds, none of it's cool. Anybody can get hurt anywhere, but don't ever get in your minds that federal prison is sweet, because it's not. It totally isn't. It's not a.
We're thinking of like the place, like the women's jail where Martha Stewart was at. You know what I mean? What was that fucking place called in Virginia?
Alderson.
Yes, Alderson.
Hey, listen. I seen FBS. I seen a guy. Well, I was across the street at BCCC, and they had a place that's not there anymore. It's called BPRU, Baltimore Pre-Release Unit. This is when I was in the state. Now, Baltimore Pre-Release Unit was like people go out on work release and stuff like that. There's a damn lizard out here. That's crazy. So it's like a pre-release unit. So there was these 2 guys, one little white guy, and another was a black dude, the older guys. They had both done like 15, 20 years in the regular prisons. They were ready to go home. They get into an argument. Now, this is pre-release. They get into an argument about a jailhouse job, like sweeping the floor, because they're like, I don't know, they want to get points with the counselor. It was a woman, whatever. People get into that stuff too, over women in there, the COs and stuff. People get that nuttiness in their head. Well, anyway, this is pre-release. They're both getting out within months. The little white guy lays down to go to bed, and it's a dorm. The other dude takes like, one of them stools like that with the hardwood where you sit, and it's got like the green like legs, the metal legs. He took one of them and smacked the guy in the head, and the guy died.
Wow, bro.
That's at pre-release. So look, you're not, no matter where you're at, you could be around some dangerous people, and you could be around some soft people. But at the end of the day, these guys who come on here, especially in these prison world guys over in that genre, they'll come on here screaming and yelling about how they do this and do that. Here's where I challenge them. Well, how did you make it? Because if you look at me, I'm not even that kind of guy. You can see what kind of guy I am. I don't even go at people, you know what I mean? But I will go, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, every single time, when I started in a state prison, I started at a pre-release. I wound up in a medium. First federal bit, I started in a medium, wound up in a penitentiary. That last federal bit, I started in low. Within fucking a month or whatever, I'm in a medium. So that just tells you right there. They throw you out. They will send your security levels up. So if you're sitting there with all these years, with all these chomos and all these rats and all these kind of people that you're going to do this and that to, why didn't you do it?
Yeah.
Or you must be ninjas. You know what I mean? They must be ninjas, you know what I mean, to be able to secretly do it. Or so I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. Nobody
because
sees
I don't
it. It doesn't even happen.
I didn't do half the stuff that they claimed, and God, shit, they make me out to be the devil. You know what I mean?
I know.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna hop
No,
off
bro.
here. I'm keep checking the show out though. All right, guys. All right, chat.
All right, bro. Thanks for coming on, man. It's always good having you on.
All right, no problem.
Talk to you soon. There you go. Eric Foss. He's an entertaining guy. He is. He's got a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and I just found out today he's a pretty funny motherfucker. The Lee Cole talk. I was at first when he was saying this shit about what Lee was saying about me, I'm like, wait a minute. Because I think Eric's fairly new around here. I'm like, hold on. I know he said this shit back in the day. Is he still saying it? Like, that would have been a whole other problem. But Eric, I promise you this. Lee Cole will be somehow or another doing a show about you. He will not be able to handle what you just said about him. So it is coming. I assure you of that. I know you're not worried and don't care, and you shouldn't be. But I'm just letting you know because I know the guy. Nicholas Riga. Is it Riga? Riga, I'll say. Definitely good guest. Thank you very much, bro. Yeah. He's a good dude. He is. I like having him on. He's a funny guy. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to go because I got to get ready for something, and I got some shit to do today. My thing isn't telling me how many fucking people I have for some reason today. I don't know why, my fucking StreamYard, but it looks like 97 still. So not too bad. Not too bad for a Tuesday afternoon. I think other people are on too. So not bad to have 97 people. Other people are on a Tuesday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys. All right. I'm going to get going. I'll be back on later today. Most likely. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll surprise you. All right, guys. I got to do my shit and we'll see what time it is. I love you all. Thank you, Mike DeBella, so much, man. SL Gordon 3 and Nick Romano show. Thank you for the donations. I love you all. And until next time, salute.